everyone, this is Fiza from Fiza. I am back with another video. In today's session, I am going to discuss with you the topic environment. आप सबको पता है that हमारा एक course चल रहा है where I am discussing vocabularies that you can use in your IELTS examination. Okay, either it will be reading, listening, writing or speaking. ये सारी vocabularies आपके लिए बहुत helpful रहेंगी. Okay, and इस कोर्स में आई हैव स्ट्रक्चर्ड इन अ वे जिसमें मैंने बताया है कि कैसे आप ये वोकैबुलरीज यूज कर पाओगे इन योर आइल्स एग्जामिनेशन. लाइक राइटिंग में कैसे यूज करोगे, स्पीकिंग में कैसे यूज करोगे. ओके, अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट वी हैव डिस्कस द मीनिंग ऑफ दीज वर्ड्स, हाउ यू कैन मेक द सेंटेंसेज ऑफ दीज वर्ड्स. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट द कॉमन collocations, verbs, adjective as well as the synonym of these words. So this course is going to be very helpful to you all. If you are preparing for your IELTS examination, this is must for every preparing students. So the very first one in our list is biodiversity. And then we have ecosystem, fossil fuel, landfill, refuse, unspoiled green belt. Together we have 7 vocabularies that we have to discuss in today's session. So let's begin without wasting any time. So the very first one in our list is biodiversity. Biodiversity means variety of living organism that exist on earth. It includes plants, animals, bacteria, fungi, microorganisms. These are all included in biodiversity. अब biodiversity का function ये होता है that इकोसिस्टम को चलाने के लिए बायोडाइवर्सिटी बहुत ही इम्पॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करता है. लाइक इट प्रोवाइड्स अस विद फूड, मेडिसिन, वाटर and other benefits also, such as we get fruits to eat, we get wood from the plants. All this we are getting from the biodiversity. But यहाँ पर problem ये है that due to the human activities such as deforestation or pollution or climate change, we are putting biodiversity at risk. क्या हो रहा है? इसकी वजह से बहुत सारा एक्सटिंक्शन हमको देखने को मिल सकता है ऑफ एनिमल्स एज वेल एज प्लांट स्पेशीज. तो जो भी कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस हो रहे हैं दैट ऑल्सो वी विल कवर व्हेन वी विल लुक फॉरवर्ड टू यूज ऑफ बायोडाइवर्सिटी इन essay writing. So you can see this is our beautiful earth where we have plants, we have trees, we have beautiful lake, water, mountain area is there. So all is considered as biodiversity. Bios is a Greek or Latin word which means life. अगर आपने क्लास 11th और 12th में बायोलॉजी ली हो तो you must know that bio का मतलब ही होता था life. Okay, तो bio means life. Okay. Let's check some sentences. The environmental program encourages farmers to preserve biodiversity. Preserve means bachana. Okay. We must preserve and protect the great biodiversity of the oceans. Let's check some common collocations. Biodiversity of something. Conserve biodiversity. Protect biodiversity, threaten biodiversity. Let's check some vocabularies for the word biodiversity. Variety of animal, plant life. Range of animal, plant life. We can use these words instead of repeating biodiversity word again and again. Let's check how in the IELTS examination you can use the word biodiversity in essays, speaking or writing the task that involve discussion about the environment, conservation and ecosystem. Let's check first how you will use the term biodiversity in IELTS writing task 2, that is essay writing. Discuss the importance of preserving biodiversity in the face of climate change. So this is your essay topic, and when you are writing the introduction part of your essay, you can write about what preserving of biodiversity is, how important it is. So preserving biodiversity is paramount in mitigating the adverse effects of climate change. We have already discussed the word mitigate in our previous lecture. अगर आपने पीछे का लेक्चर नहीं देखा है तो प्लीज गो एंड सी व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ द वर्ड मिटिगेट. इसके साथ साथ हमने वर्ड पढ़ा था इरेडिकेट. ओके, paramount means important. Adverse effects of climate change, as diverse ecosystems contribute to resilience and adaptation strategies. Okay, very good beginning of our essay we got. Let's check another question. Here we are talking about how can individuals contribute to environmental conservation. So this is our speaking part 3. That means this is our follow-up question. Just assume that you are giving your IELTS speaking interview और आपसे एग्जामिनर ने क्वेश्चन किया हाउ कैन इंडिविजुअल्स कंट्रीब्यूट टू एनवायरमेंटल कंजर्वेशन. You can answer it like this. One way individuals can contribute is by supporting initiatives that promote biodiversity conservation. This includes participating in tree planting campaigns or advocating for protected areas to maintain the variety of species within ecosystem. Okay, a very good answer. Where I am talking about we should participate in tree planting campaigns, and another one is we should advocate for protected areas to maintain the variety of species. तो basically species को extinction से बचाने के लिए we should support protected areas. Let's check how we can use the term biodiversity in our writing task 1. Basically letter writing. You are writing a letter to the editor about an environmental issue in your area. Then how you can write about what problem you are facing. The rapid urbanization in our region is posing a serious threat to biodiversity, with the destruction of natural habitats leading to the decline of various plant and animal species. We have already discussed this vocabulary, decline. That means a decrease of various plants and animal species. Okay, so you can see here it was very easy to use the word biodiversity in all the 3 tasks, that is writing task 2, writing task 1 and speaking. Remember to use the word biodiversity naturally and appropriately within the context of your response. It showcases a wide range of vocabulary and demonstrate your ability to express complex ideas in English. So this term don't forget to use when you get some essay or your speaking topics related to environmental conservation. Let's check another word, that is ecosystem. Ecosystem refers to a community of living organisms and their interaction with their non-living environment. अब देखिए यहाँ पर ये बायोडाइवर्सिटी से कैसे डिफरेंट है. Ecosystem is basically community of living organisms, means जो organisms like plants, animals, microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, everything, ये साथ में रहते हैं and they interact with each other. Okay, अब बायोडाइवर्सिटी में यू कैन सी इंटरैक्शन वाला टर्म नहीं था, बट हेयर इट इज डिफरेंट बिकॉज यहाँ पर इंटरैक्शन है नॉन लिविंग इन्वायरमेंट से. अब बताइए नॉन लिविंग इन्वायरमेंट में क्या आ गया. वी हैव माउंटेन्स, सैंड, राइट ये सब क्या है, दीज आर नॉन लिविंग एनवायरनमेंट। क्यों बोला गया है ये, बिकॉज अगर कोई भी लिविंग बीइंग है देन दे हैव टू मेक देयर homes or they have to have some shelters where they can live. So कैसे वो interact करते हैं, then we have to see this term, that is non-living environment. देखिए, the organism that make up an ecosystem can range from tiny microorganism to massive animals like elephants and whales. Each organism play a unique role in the ecosystem and their interaction are crucial to the overall health and sustainability of the ecosystem. Some common examples of ecosystem include forest, coral reefs, grasslands and wetlands. So you can see this is the example of basically one ocean where you can see a lot of fishes are there. So ocean is basically non-living but it is habitat for these fishes, right? तो यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है, this is basically interaction of a living thing with a non-living thing. Eco means ही होता है habitat or environment. So you can see this is your habitat or environment. Let's check some sentences. Kenya's ecosystems include rainforest, deserts and savanna. Overfishing has destabilized marine ecosystems. The success of Apple's ecosystem depends on hardware-software integration. Let's check some common collocations. A marine ecosystem, a balanced ecosystem, a fragile ecosystem, damage the ecosystem. Let's check some common synonyms. Environment, network, organization, association. Let's check how we can use the term ecosystem in writing task 2, speaking and writing task 1. First we will check writing task 2. Suppose आपको writing task 2 में एक question मिलता है, discuss the impact of human activities on the environment. तो आप अपने body para 1 में ये main idea दे सकते हैं. Human activities such as deforestation and pollution have far-reaching consequences not only on individual species but also on the entire ecosystem, disrupting delicate balances and jeopardizing the well-being of countless organisms. So that in the explanation and in the example part, you can elaborate your point appropriately. Suppose in your IELTS speaking, the examiner asked, how can cities be designed to be more environmentally friendly? Then your response should be, one approach to designing eco-friendly cities is to consider the integration of green spaces and parks. These areas not only enhance the aesthetic appeal but also contribute to maintaining a healthy urban ecosystem by providing habitats for various species and promoting biodiversity. So you have used the term ecosystem and biodiversity in your IELTS speaking, and these vocabularies are very important as it adds clarity and depth to your response. It demonstrates a good grasp of vocabulary to score well in IELTS. Let's talk about writing task 1. Suppose आपको कोई question मिलता है where there is one line graph or a bar graph, कुछ भी आ सकता है in your visual data. Okay, and they are giving two information here. एक they are talking about temperature and another they are talking about rain. Okay, temperature and rain के बारे में information दी हुई है. तो then you can use the term ecosystem like this. The graph illustrates the changes in temperature and precipitation in the region over the past decade, highlighting the potential impact on the ecosystem. You can see over here, यहाँ पे basically दी गई होंगी dates and there must be some percentage or some data must be given. तो आप बता सकते हो that temperature or precipitation they are talking, and what it is highlighting the potential impact. Let's talk about another word, fossil fuel. So fossil fuel is a type of energy source that is created from the remains of ancient plants and animals. Basically decaying of plants and animals से क्या होता है that we get fossil fuels. Okay, तो these are basically energy sources and they are non-renewable. Non-renewable मतलब ये renew नहीं हो सकती. Renewable sources कौन होती हैं? Like sunlight, wind energy, hydro energy हमारी renewable हो जाएंगी, and non-renewable में आ जाएगा diesel, petrol, CNG. All these will be your non-renewable sources of energy and they are called fossil fuels. So you can see this is LPG that we use at our homes. This is also a source of energy or a fossil fuel that we use in our homes. Let's check some sentences. By using less energy, we will burn fewer fossil fuels and emit fewer greenhouse gases. The fossil fuel companies, including the big oil companies, are amongst the richest in the world. The government wants to cut back on fossil fuel exploration. Let's check some common collocations. Burn fossil fuels, consume fossil fuels, use fossil fuels, dirty fossil fuels. Let's check some synonyms. Non-renewable energy, renewables. Non-renewable energy, non-renewables. Let's check how we can use the term fossil fuel in writing task 2, speaking, and writing task 1. Writing task 2. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of using fossil fuel as an energy source. While fossil fuel has been instrumental in meeting the world's energy demands, the over-reliance on these non-renewable resources poses significant environmental challenges such as air pollution and the emission of green gases. So this you can use as your main idea in writing task 2, or you can also use this one in your introduction where you are talking about the advantages and disadvantages of them. Okay, suppose in writing task 2, this is your essay question. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of using fossil fuels as an energy source. In your introduction part, you can start your essay by this. While fossil fuels have been instrumental in meeting the world's energy demands, the over-reliance on these non-renewable resources poses significant environmental challenges such as air pollution and the emission of greenhouse gases. So you can see over here, air pollution, emission of greenhouse gases. So I am talking about disadvantages over here. So this will be the main idea for writing disadvantages of fossil fuels, where I will be explaining pollution and the emission of greenhouse gases, where I will be discussing about pollution and the emission of greenhouse gases. Let's talk about speaking. What are the consequences of continued use of fossil fuels? In the speaking part, you can answer it like this. The continued use of fossil fuels have severe consequences for the environment, contributing to global warming and climate change. The combustion of fossil fuels releases carbon dioxide and other pollutants into the atmosphere, leading to adverse effects on air quality and ecosystems. Let's check how we can use in writing task 1. Suppose in your writing task 1 you got one bar chart जिसमें कि उन्होंने बताया है the consumption of coal and oil. तो आपको दो डिटेल्स दी हैं कोल की और ऑयल की, और उनका कंजम्पशन बताया है. ओके, तो बेसिकली वी कैन यूज द टर्म फॉसिल फ्यूल्स. ओके, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ एनर्जी सोर्सेज इन द कंट्री विद अ नोटेबल रिलायंस ऑन फॉसिल फ्यूल्स सच एज कोल एंड ऑयल for electricity generation. This is how we can start our introduction. The another word in our list is landfill. Landfill are designated sites for waste disposal. अब ये वो एरिया होते हैं जहां पर people usually डम्प देयर गार्बेज. अब वो क्या है, कूड़ा फेंक देना इन द यूजुअली इन सॉलिड फॉर्म. ओके, उसको लार्ज पिट या फिर लैंड डिप्रेशंस, क्या होता है, वो गड्ढा होता है जिसमें कि सारा कूड़ा फेंका जाता है. ओके, वेस्ट डिस्पोज किया जाता है और फिर उसको पानी फिर उसको सॉइल से ढक देते हैं ताकि वहाँ पर क्या हो जाए, दे यूजुअली द वेस्ट मटीरियल इट इज बायोडिग्रेडेबल and it will decomposed. Okay, so they serve as the primary method of waste management for many communities across the world. Landfills are designed to protect the environment and public health by containing the waste within a lined area and preventing it from contaminating the surrounding area. तो क्या होगा, because of that what will happen, जितना भी waste है it will not accumulate and instead of that it will decompose. So you can see over here this is a large pit. Okay, जहाँ पर उन्होंने सारा garbage डाल दिया है and then soon it will be covered with soil or something ताकि वो decompose हो जाए. So land, the part of the earth's surface that is not covered by water. So this is land. Okay, land, the part of earth's surface that is not covered by water, landfill. The environmental costs of landfill can be very high. The rubbish in modern landfills does not rot क्योंकि वो नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल होते हैं, तो वो सड़ते नहीं हैं बेसिकली, क्योंकि वहाँ प्लास्टिक वेस्ट बहुत ज़्यादा होता है. एंड अगर इट इज़ नॉट बायोडिग्रेडेबल तो अर्थ जो है वो उसको डिग्रेड नहीं कर पाती है. इट इज़ वेरी डिफ़िकल्ट फॉर अर्थ टू डिग्रेड इट, इसलिए उसका रॉट हो जाना मुश्किल होता है. An 11-acre landfill site in Massachusetts now hosts a 9,620 panel 2.2 megawatt solar plant. Let's check some common collocations. Landfill site, landfill tax, landfill waste, landfill gas. Let's check some synonyms. Rubbish dump, tip, dumping ground, garbage dump, disposal area, waste dump. How we can use the word landfills in essay writing task 2. Discuss the environmental impact of waste disposal method. Okay, we can start our sentence like this. One of the most pressing environmental concerns is the proliferation of landfills, where vast amount of waste are deposited, posing threats to soil quality, groundwater, and overall ecosystem health. In IELTS speaking, if the examiner will ask you this, how can individuals contribute to waste reduction in their communities? You can answer it like this. Individuals can play a crucial role in waste reduction by adopting sustainable practices such as recycling and reducing single-use items. This is not only minimizes the amount of waste ending up in landfills, but also promotes a more environmentally conscious lifestyle. This is a perfect answer. Let's check how we can use it in general training or academic. In your writing task 1, you received one pie chart where they are talking about distribution of waste disposal method. You can use the term landfills in this way. The pie chart illustrates the distribution of waste disposal methods in the city, with a significant portion of waste being directed to landfills, highlighting the need for more sustainable alternatives. But ensure that the use of landfills fit naturally within the context of your response. Demonstrating a varied and precise vocabulary is essential in showcasing your language proficiency in IELTS exam. Let's check another word in our list. Another word is refuse. Refuse can be defined as a thing that we threw away or consider as waste. कोई भी substance or material जो हमारे यूज का नहीं है and we throw it considering it is a waste, उसको बोलते हैं refuse. It includes all the garbage, trash, debris that we produce from our daily activities. Like आपने कोई कुरकुरे का पैकेट खाया और लेस का पैकेट खाया, then the wrap is there, जो आपका पैकेट है that we threw away, उसको हम कह सकते हैं that is refuse. ओके अब इसके बहुत सारे मेथड्स हो सकते हैं जिससे कि हम इसको मैनेज कर सकते हैं. लाइक वी कैन डू रिसाइकलिंग, वी कैन डू कंपोस्टिंग, लैंड फिलिंग, ओके, पेपर, प्लास्टिक, ग्लास, कोई भी न्यू प्रोडक्ट बना सकते हैं इसका बाय डूइंग इट रिसाइकलिंग. You can see in this big packets you have bottles, wrappers that can be recycled. So basically these are refuse items. The council makes a weekly collection of refuse. Vast amount of unwanted domestic refuse are left by the sides of roads. Old TVs and washing machines are examples of domestic refuse. Let's check some common collocations. Collect refuse, domestic refuse, industrial refuse, refuse disposal. Let's check some synonyms for the word refuse. Rubbish, junk, garbage, waste, trash. How we can use the word refuse when we are doing an essay writing? Suppose the question is, discuss the importance of waste reduction in modern society. You can start your essay like this. In order to address the escalating environmental issue, it is imperative for individuals to adopt a mindset of waste reduction by consciously refusing unnecessary items and embracing sustainable alternatives. Let's check how we can use refuse in IELTS speaking. The examiner asked you, how can communities encourage responsible consumption? Communities can foster responsible consumption by promoting awareness campaigns that encourage residents to carefully consider their purchases and actively refuse products with excessive packaging or those that contribute to environmental degradation. This is very good answer for your follow-up part. How we can use the word refuse in our writing task 1? Suppose you receive one bar chart where the amount of plastic waste generated is given. You can use the word refuse or refusal in this way. The bar chart illustrates the amount of plastic waste generated in the region, with a notable increase attributed to the refusal of single-use plastics following a community-wide awareness campaign. Ensure that the word fits naturally within the context and effectively communicates your intent meaning. Let's check another word in our list, that is unspoiled. Unspoiled often evokes image of natural beauty, untouched by human hands. Okay, so unspoiled are basically places ऑफ द बीटन ट्रैक, ऐसी प्लेसेस जो बहुत ही खूबसूरत हैं और हम ये कह सकते हैं कि ह्यूमन एक्टिविटीज़ की वजह से वहाँ कोई डैमेज नहीं हुआ है. इट इज़ अनस्पॉइल्ड, इट इज़ प्रेशियस गिफ्ट. Okay, it is very difficult nowadays to find these places, these unspoiled places. Okay, you can see this place, this beauty. So we can see lots of mountains covered with grass, trees, and nowadays it is difficult to find these beauties. See this, this is also another image of one of unspoiled place where we can see very less human activities are there, and it is really beautiful. Unspoiled, un means हो जाता है a prefix, un means not spoiled, and if it's written unspoiled then it will be an adjective. Let's check some sentences. The village is quiet and unspoiled. We want to preserve the unspoiled coastline of Wales. The valley was unspoiled by modern life. Let's check some common collocations. Unspoiled beauty, unspoiled nature, unspoiled countryside, relatively unspoiled. Let's check some synonyms for the word unspoiled. Untouched, natural, unpolluted, clean, unblemished, pristine. Let's check how we can use the word unspoiled in our IELTS writing task 2. Describe. So this is your essay question. Discuss the impact of tourism on natural landscapes. You can start your essay like this. While tourism can contribute significantly to local economies, it is crucial to implement sustainable practices to prevent the degradation of unspoiled natural landscapes and protect the environment for future generation. So you can see the word degradation of unspoiled natural landscapes. And this is really a wide range of vocabulary use. Let's talk about how you can use the word unspoiled in your IELTS speaking. Suppose the examiner asked you, how can countries balance tourism development and environmental conservation? You can answer it like this. A delicate balance can be achieved by implementing responsible tourism practices that allow visitors to appreciate the beauty of unspoiled landscapes without causing harm. This involves strict regulations on construction and waste management to preserve the natural environment. So you can see here the beauty of unspoiled landscape. Another very good vocabulary range. Let's check how you can use the word unspoiled in writing task 1. Suppose in a task 1 the pie chart has given, and there they are talking about natural parks and wilderness areas. So you can say you can use the word unspoiled. The pie chart illustrates the types of land used in the region, with a significant portion dedicated to national parks and unspoiled wilderness areas. Demonstrating a nuanced vocabulary is important for achieving a higher band score in the IELTS exam. Let's check another word in our list, that is green belt. Green belt is a term used to describe an area of land surrounding urban areas which is protected from development to preserve its natural beauty and ecological value. So basically they are talking about a land that is protected. ओके जहाँ पर ज़्यादा अर्बनाइजेशन ना करने को मिले, जहाँ पे ह्यूमन एक्टिविटीज़ से प्रोटेक्शन रहे जिस एरिया का, these are basically called green belt. The main purpose of green belt is to prevent urban sprawl and promote sustainable development by preserving open spaces. So you can see over here, this is London, and there you can see no green belt is there. Okay, all urbanization, industrialization is done here, so no green belt. But you can see over here, these are green belts where very less human activities or industrialization or urbanization is done. So this we can see, this is green belt. Planning regulations within the green belt are severely restricted. Fields and parks make up much of the city's green belt, an area of natural beauty. Within the green belt, in the green belt policy, green belt program, these are some common collocations. Let's check how we can use the word green belts in writing task 2. Discuss the importance of urban green spaces in modern cities. The incorporation of green belts in urban planning not only enhances the quality of life for city dwellers, but also serves as a crucial strategy for mitigating environmental challenges, promoting biodiversity, and ensuring sustainable development. This is your Band 9 introduction. You can use the word green belts in your speaking as well. Suppose your examiner asked you this question: how can cities balance development and environmental preservation? You can answer it like this: cities can strike a balance between development and environmental preservation by integrating green belts into their urban landscapes. These green spaces act as natural buffers, providing recreational areas for residents and safeguarding the ecosystem within and around urban centers. Let's check how we can use the word green belt in writing task 1. Suppose आपको एक मैप बेस्ड क्वेश्चन मिलता है and there they are showcasing the area where very less urbanization is done. Then we can use the word green belts like this. The map illustrates the distribution of land use in the city, with a prominent green belt surrounding the urban core, symbolizing the commitment to preserving natural areas amid development. Ensure that the use of green belt is contextually appropriate and contributes effectively to the overall coherence and clarity of your response. So these are all the 7 vocabularies that we have discussed today. I hope this video must be informative to you all. Thank you so much, everyone.